man, the idea for Top Gun, for doing this kind of video, actually, like, I'm a massive fan of AVGN, like the Angry Video Game Nerd and Cinemassacre. I think those guys are doing an amazing job, and just my love for Top Gun, the film, and yeah, and my memories of the game as a kid.
When I first read the script, wow, okay, I didn't even know where to begin. Just the whole idea of Dan in a monkey onesie kind of didn't even make sense. But it did make me laugh, because it's a proper 80s style video with this silly montage in the middle of someone getting better at something. But overall, the script was just stupid fun, like us, really. So yeah, no, I was really looking forward to working on this one.
Do the shake and back and put the freshness back. Do the shake and back and put the freshness back. When your carpet smells fresh, your room does too.
As I remember, it didn't take too long to write the script. I think Brendan had already done a first draft, or most of one anyway. And I remember coming round, and I remember there being a scene in there where I was, rather than being in a monkey onesie, I was more in tune with the beach volleyball scene from the film. So kind of glad that got changed, actually. But yeah, as I remember it, we just spent one night with some beers and some games on the telly, just thrashing out this idea. I can't remember where the monkey onesie idea came from, just probably because I had one. But I'm very glad we did that. I thought it was a good introduction to me.
Writing it was probably the hardest part, really. Whenever you write comedy, it's something that's it's really difficult. And to be honest, a lot of the humour that came across on screen was actually an afterthought. So I'll try and keep the camera angle like at the same, same kind of position each time, and just each time it just gets, you just get really stressed out.
As we were filming some of the scenes, like with me trying to land the plane and getting frustrated, I just happened to squeeze the coffee mug in frustration, and the lid flew off. And we had this great idea, because Bren was sat next to me, of the lid flying off and hitting him in the face. And we chuckled a little bit, and it took several takes to get right. But that kind of entered as a rolling joke throughout the rest of the video. So that's why later on Dan does the same and hits Bren, and at the end it just randomly hits him, because why not? Also, when Dan takes the controller from me and he starts to play the game, he has his third hand that puts on the glasses. So it's one of them little things that some people might miss, but it's old school humour. And we did try and implement it later on in the video again, but it didn't work, because I'm not as tall as Dan, so we couldn't get the right angle to get my arm through his and try and do it again. So we cut that out in the end.
We filmed so much. A lot of the stuff, like we didn't use quite a lot of things, actually. We filmed a lot of stuff for the montage sequence at the end that didn't actually get used. It's not really a bad thing. I mean, you kind of, in the editing process, you kind of look at what flows and what doesn't, and you kind of cut the dead weight, and you try and make it flow nicely so people aren't getting bored of seeing it, and you've got to keep that pace up. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff we didn't use.
In total, this was filmed over 6 weeks, including three consecutive Saturdays of actually filming the main bulk of all the shots. Then a couple of weeks of post-production, and then we got just some little pickups sort of 6 weeks later. So a lot went into this.
At the end of the first day, we took a load of pictures of what we were wearing and of the apartment, so how everything was laid out on the table, and that's what we referred to every single week. So there are some funny photos of us standing there looking like idiots because we needed to see what we were wearing. I think the only person that really didn't have an issue was Dan, because it was monkey onesie.
Sun does not equal warmth.
So yeah, filming on location at Long Marsden was pretty cool, only the weather didn't really play ball. It was so windy. Obviously the audio is cut out of the clips while we're there, but all you can hear is... And the scene when we're walking towards the camera, you can probably see, well, you probably can't see my face because my hair was just everywhere. In the end, I just gave up. It was pointless even trying to keep it out of my face. And the sun was shining quite bright as well, so some of the shots, they look quite simple, but we couldn't see what we were filming on the screen, so it was kind of record and hope by the end of it.
Going to Long Marsden was weird, because I was expecting I was worried we were going to get chased out by security, but the place is derelict. It's actually quite depressing. There was a good drag racing strip that looked like it still got some use, but there were all these sort of skeletons of old planes that clearly haven't flown in a really long time, so it really had that kind of sad vibe of things that are past their best. So Bren put some new planes in the video, but when we were there, they were just gutted planes, bits of fuselage and wheel arches and all sorts of stuff everywhere, and it was really run down, and it was so cold. That monkey onesie's crap.
Doing this project actually involved a lot of new techniques for me. I've been doing like filmmaking for quite a while, ever since college. I loved it and all that kind of stuff, but we got some new equipment for this one. So we shot everything on a Blackmagic Pocket cinema camera, which was a lovely piece of kit. It was quite difficult to work with. It was a bit of a learning curve, and I only got one battery with it. And when we found out that the camera actually churned through a battery in like 20 minutes, we were like, oh, this is going to need some more batteries. So it was a lot of time charging, and it set back production a little bit, but halfway through we got some more batteries, so it was all good. The camera shoots everything in a flat profile, so everything is kind of like saturated, so it preserves the image as much as possible. And when you put it into post-production, you then use some software called DaVinci, which is what we use to color grade all the footage. And this program allows so much control over the image, and you can pull back all the color, you can control the shadows, control the highlights, and there's so much control over the image. It takes a lot of time to do, but it really does give you so much more creative control.
That's how it's done in Hollywood, Birmingham.
Hollywood! Hollywood! Hollywood!
Wearing that onesie, I thought, it won't be too bad, you know, it's designed to be comfortable, but it's not really designed for filming days. And it's, what's the right word? I think it might be chafe. Sorry.
I had Top Gun, the NES game, when I was a kid, so that is real. My dad did actually buy it for me when I was younger, and I never managed to complete it. It's only till now, through researching and doing this review, that I actually stuck the game on and properly finished it from beginning to end. And my God, is it difficult, but it's really, really worth doing if you haven't done it. It's a great feeling completing one of these old games. And yeah, no, Top Gun, never could get past the second level as a kid. No. But I did land the plane once by accident. I didn't know how I did it.
I didn't even play this game until we started shooting this video. And I landed the plane on my first go after being told relentlessly that it was a very difficult thing to do. I landed it on my first go.
I think I like, I suppose the montage sequence. Some of the shots in that, I like the bit with Jay dodging the bottles. I think that came across really well.
Yeah, the bottles looked good, but they were plastic. But with the sound effects in there, the bottle smashing that Bren added in post, it did look really, really convincing. But no, it was just plastic, and Dan did enjoy throwing it at me.
Top Gun has a famously good soundtrack, and I'm pleased to say it's been going around in my head for the last 2 months, so I can't see that ending anytime soon. But yeah, Highway to the Danger Zone and the Top Gun anthem, I can hear it now. If I had to advise anyone else who wanted to do this kind of video, I'd say there were 3 simple rules. Make something you really want to make, don't let anyone else tell you what you can and can't do, and start every filming day with a Subway bacon roll breakfast. If you do that, you're sorted. If you do ever play this game, you should be the plane.